Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Diana the Paper Pineapple, and I'm back with a flip through of my June setup, my monthly wrap up for my book journal. So let me backtrack because I thought I was recording and I wasn't. So I did most of the work for my June setup. So I'm just gonna quickly just go through and show you what I've done. So for this one, I've already colored in for the month of June. I read 14 books. So I colored in 14 of these books. 10 were audio, so they are the P3, which is this color. One of them was a paperback, which is, where is it? I think it's right here. And then one of them, 3 of them were combo reads. So this one, and I believe this one, and I believe one of these. So I'm sorry, it's kind of hard to show you what I've already done, but so 14 books were added to my bookshelfie. And then for books read, I went ahead and added my 14 books for June. So I did the June, I did the title, the author, and then my rating for those books. So I've already added those in there. And then for my alphabet challenge, I think I only added, I'm trying to think which ones are the ones that I added on here. I believe I only added one. I think it was this one, the A. I read A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. So far, we are, well, I'm doing June's, but I'm so behind, I need to catch up. I only need K, U, X, and Z. So I don't know where I'm gonna find a book with those titles, but we shall see if I can accomplish this alphabet challenge. For my rainbow reads, I can go ahead and add those in there. Was my orange, which is The Dead Romantics. I did that one. Let's see here. I'm not the best at adding these books. This one I feel like I was short for some reason. Anyway, I did pink. So I read The Happy Ever After Playlist from AVBE Jimenez. This is my pink book for my rainbow read. Sorry, I'm always moving my journal, because since I'm so bad at being straight and whatnot, I always have to move it around so I can get it the best I can. And then for my gray book, I read A Court of Silver Flames. I finished the A Court of Thorns and Roses series this month of June, because I did start reading this and I couldn't stop. I was so hooked on this series of books. I was in a book slump, and after reading Fourth Wing series, I was such a book slump, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna find a book that I'm gonna be so interested in. And then I came across the Sarah J. Maas universe of books, and I was hooked, guys. So this will complete my rainbow reads. So I only need green and brown. So that'll be fun to finally finish that. Then for my 2025 books, I believe I only added, let me see. I think I added, I know I added a couple books in this. Yeah. Close Your Eyes and Count to 10. Here's that one. That I did a 2 rating, so it got this color, this pink one. And then my second book that I read off my list was Never Flinch by Stephen King. And that I gave a 4. So that is this color book. So it's either that one. And then the third book from my list was None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell, which is this one right here. And that I gave a 5. That actually was pretty good. So it was one of these purple books. So it must be that one. So yeah, those are the 3 that I added for my 25 books. Then this will be my buddy reads with Amy. So I need to add my June book. And our June book for this one is A Court of Thorns and Roses. And I believe this was my choice because hers was The Cousins in May. This one's kind of tall. So let's see if I can trim it down because I don't want to cover my June sticker. Maybe I can cut off a little bit from the top. I don't know, for some reason, I always try to print my book jackets all the same size, but for some reason, sometimes the setting doesn't always work for the size of the books, like the images. Sometimes they're long books, and I don't always get the right measurement for these books. So I just trim as needed. Okay, that should be skinny enough. Yeah, I think that works. I've been researching on sticker books because I think the hardest part for me is trying to take the backing off of these sticker labels, and I spend the most of my time trying to peel that backing off, and it is really annoying. So I need to invest in one or make one of my own. I've seen tutorials on how to make your own. Maybe that'll be something that I can do on here. That one, this book was a 5-star for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and color in my 5 stars. Excuse me, sorry, I'm getting over being sick. My voice is slowly coming back to normal. Okay, so now I've got my buddy reads with Amy. So then I got to do the next page, which is my book bracket. And I'm excited to see what the book of the year is gonna be. I know I'm kind of far away from that, but my favorite book for June was A Court of Silver Flames. I don't know if you guys read it, but I read this book or read the series, but I highly recommend. This book was so good. It had me laughing, crying, all the feels, guys. It was such a good book. I definitely recommend that series. I think I've already told you, but I'll say it again. Definitely recommend. And since after June finishes my second quarter, I'm gonna go ahead and add this because I think for me, A Court of Silver Flames was better than Fourth Wing and Onyx Storm. And believe me, this series I absolutely loved. I loved all books, all the 3 books of this series, Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, and Onyx Storm. And I read both of those in April. So, or maybe, yeah, I think so. But ultimately I chose A Court of Silver Flames. For me, I felt that one was better than these 2, I don't know. This one had me very invested. So now I have quarter 1 book, The Wishing Game, quarter 2 book, A Court of Silver Flame. So we'll see after September, which is this month, I'll finally find out what book 3 for quarter 3 is. So I'm highly excited for that. Now, this is my favorite author's book. I think I read Stephen King. I know I think I already checked it off. Never Flinch. I didn't read any Ruth Ware. Oh, I read an Abby Jimenez book, which was The Happy Ever Playlist, which I already checked off. I didn't read any really Riley Sager. I didn't read any Holly Jackson. All these books are on my list, are on my TBR list to finish. Nothing on Geneva Rose and nothing in Frida McFadden yet. I've already read a couple now, but since we're only doing June's, that is, I've only checked off 2 from my favorite authors, King and Jimenez. So that's cool. And then moving on with my monthly faves, I just like to see like at a glance how that looks. So it's kind of similar to my book bracket, except the book bracket is comparing the books from each quarter. So it is a little different. So I like the way that looks. Closely, I already filled up this side, so now we're moving on to this side. And then for my book bingo, I know for sure I'm gonna fill in, I think I already filled it in, A Friend's Wreck, which my bestie Amy here on YouTube and on Instagram, I always mention her, she recommended You're Dead to Me, and so that I got to fill in that one. And then I think I filled in a book. I bought a book, which was A Court of Thorns and Roses. That's the book that I bought. And then the third one that I filled in for the month was Finish a Series, and that was the Court of Thorns and Roses series. I completed, fully finished and read all of the 5 books, I believe they are. I think they're 5. Yeah, I finished the series. So I colored in 3 little boxes for my book bingo. I still have a lot to read here. So I'm confident that I'll be able to fill in some more. So we'll see. So now I'm ready to move on to my book jackets that I've read, and I will put this in order, and I'm gonna go ahead and put some music on for you to listen to because this will probably take a while. So I'll check in with you guys here at the end. printed the wrong book. Instead of printing A Court of Wings and Ruin, I printed A Court of Things and Roses, but I've already done that one the previous month. So I needed to go back and print 2 of these, one for my books that I've read already, to add my 5 books that I finished the series. So I should have 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yes. Okay, so now I finished this portion of it. So now I'm going to jump over to my spread for the month of June. And I still have to do 2 more book reviews, but these I want to decorate like with all the pictures and stuff. So I haven't finished those parts yet. So I'm just going to jump over to this. And this is the part where I thought I was, well, most of the part that I've didn't realize that I didn't turn my camera on. But for this month, I printed out some stickers that were, since it's June, it was like summery, Mykonos, so it's like Greece. And I thought these were really pretty. I felt like I wanted to do some like blue hues and like just water and ocean. So I had some extras here. I'm using my little pineapple here to add my extra stickers. But I kind of just took most of the pictures that I loved and did most of it on this side. And I just added a little bit, I tore some paper here to stamp out my June, add a couple of other stuff like the windmills here, the ocean here, ocean there, just the bright white buildings with the blue windows, frames, and doors. Just looks so pretty. And I love the hanging flowers and plants. That's very beautiful. So, and then I just added these like, what do they call, photo corners, and I just punched that and added some washi tape just to mount it a little bit so it wouldn't look like it was floating. I don't know, I'm still experimenting. I'm not a professional at decorating my book journal, but I'm having fun with it. So this is what I came up with. I already did my stats page, and I kind of bent my stickers here because I've been using these little gold clips here to kind of hold down my book here, the pages. So I added a boat here, added some trims here, did a couple little doodles just to frame it a little bit. I added some stickers from Everyday Explorers. I have like stickers in all these different colors, so I'm using them for this journal, book journal. So I just added stats here, added a couple washi here, and then this is my June wrap up telling me how many books I read, how many pages, 1,425, how many hours, 124.98. Well, my average rating for my books were 4.14, so average 4 stars, that's pretty good. These are the books that I rated the highest, which was None of This Is True, The Dead Romantics, and Where the Red Fern Grows. So this is actually a book that I read with my son, and this was a paperback book that I read when I was in 4th grade, so it's like a super old book, but my son and I read it and we absolutely loved it. And it was such a great read for us, just to have that moment with my son, like reading a book that I read when I was in 4th grade, and then now my son's in 4th grade and we read this book. It was just like very like wow to me. It was just pretty neat to be able to do that with him. And then later on we watched the movie. It's on Amazon Prime Video if you have it. They have the movie on there. So we did both. We read the book and watched the movie. So that's typically what I enjoy doing. My average book length was 425 pages, and my average time to finish a book was 11 days, which is actually pretty long considering that I read 14 books during the month. Usually I like to finish a book within 3 to 4 days, so I actually took a longer time. But the books that I read from the series, those were actually bigger books, so I think that's why my average day went up So 21% was print, and that 79% was audio. 100% of it was fiction. I usually read fiction books. And then my top genres for the month were, of course, fantasy, romance, and thriller. And this was the first time, no, this is my second magic realism book. The first one was also from Ashley, what's her last name? Ashley Poston, I think that's how you pronounce it. This was my second book of hers. The first one I think I rated like a 3, 4, I can't remember, but this one was absolutely so awesome. I really enjoyed this book. For that genre, I think that was what made it for me. It was a really good book. So magic realism and a little bit of contemporary read. So yeah, that is my wrap up for the month. So now I'm just gonna put on some music for you guys to listen to, because I am going to put all my books down, and I will use my rating stamp to rate these books. So let's see how I'm gonna fit all of these. I might just have to, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go on to some on this page, because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to fit all of them. So a quart of Wings and Ruin, and then a quart of Frost and Starlight, and then I believe it was a quart of Silver Flames. So my only thing is I'm gonna have to use my star rating stamp, which this is a stamp set from Jennifer from Syncopation Design. I'll go ahead and link that stamp set if you guys want to be able to purchase that. I'll go ahead and link it in the description so you guys can purchase your own. I am on her design team, so I should be able to put them back to back there. That will fit, that will fit, that will fit barely. I'll just be barely on this little piece here, but that will fit. Okay. So, so I'll go ahead and put some music on again, and you guys can watch me put this down, because this is probably going to take me a while to put all these down, clear these, take off these little stickies on the back. It's going to take me a while, so just enjoy a snack, enjoy your drink, and just relax and see me put this together, and then I'll come back and I'll see you guys here in a bit. All right. Already completed the book covers, adding them down, stamping my ratings for my books. Now I'm going to go ahead and fill in the stars. So for June, I read A Court of Wings and Ruin, and that I rated a 5-star. was a really good book. I'm not going to say anything because I hate spoilers, but it really was a really good book. Then for June, Court of Frost and Starlight, that I rated it a 4. It was more of a novella, just to fill in the gap between this book and that book. But it was still good, just because I wanted to more, you know, like I wanted to continue listening. And then, of course, A Court of Silver Flames. That one was a 5-star for me. I cried. I was bawling my eyes out. It was a very intense, the ending of this, but it was a great ending. I will just say that. Excuse me. Then after that, I felt like I was in a slump, and then I read Sherry LaPena, which she's another good author of mine and favorite author of mine. I read The Couple Next Door, and that one I rated a 4-star. And that was a good one. I've read a couple of her books, and I like her style. So if you ever want to read a different author, I would highly recommend her. Then my next book was I finished the series, the Emily Wilde series. This was the last book of the trilogy that she's wrote. The Compendium of Lost Tales. Now this book I enjoyed, and I also rated it a 4. You know, it was funny because I never thought that I would like fantasy, but come to find out, I'm a sucker for fantasy. All I've used to read was thrillers and horror books, and I enjoyed mystery, but this year I decided to read other genres, and I found out I enjoy fantasy. So the next book, I shook things up and I did a romance, and I did another Abby Jimenez, which was the Happy Ever After playlist, and that one was a 5. She's another one of my favorite authors. Her books are not like cheesy. I don't know how to explain it, because a lot of people don't like romance because they think, oh my gosh, they're like smut and super cheesy and awkward. But her books are always like relatable, like they're real life stories, and I just love how they happen to find love. And she's just like my all-time favorite romance author. So that one was a 5 for me. The next book that I read was The Lost Bookshop by E.V. Woods. Now this one I picked because I heard so much about it, and to me, I felt like the hype wasn't all that, you know, like the book wasn't, at least for me, it wasn't. To me, it was like a little boring. I did enjoy the story. It was cute, but yeah, just I wanted to like it more than I really did. So that was a 3. The next book I read was Where the Red Fern Grows, and this book for me was a 5. This is the one that I read with my son. My son's will be 10 here next month, and him and I have been reading books since he was a little guy. And I read with all my kids, with my daughter, with my son, and he's my youngest, and I'm just enjoying the book reading right now. So that was a 5 for me, and for him, he rated it a 5. I also like to ask him what his ratings are, and we like to compare. So yeah, that was another 5 for me. The next book that I picked was Close Your Eyes and Count to 10. And now this book was a new book that was released this year, and so I really wanted to read it, and it just didn't work for me. I don't know. It's a thriller, mystery, but I don't know. I kept falling asleep just not as suspenseful, or I don't know. When I read books like that, I like the twists and the plot twists and the, you know, just having to be engaged, you know, and it just wasn't enough for me. So unfortunately, it was a 2. She's a new author that I've read. So I don't know. I don't know if I would read another one of hers. Maybe just the writing wasn't my style. I don't know, but it just wasn't it for me. The Dead Romantics, that one was a 5 for me. Like I said, this was the second book that I've read of hers, and the first book wasn't all that for me. I think I rated it a 3 or a 4, but this book was really good. I really loved the characters in this book. Then from romance, I went back to, because I wanted to be, you know, I wanted a good thriller, suspense, mystery, and so Stephen King is one of my favorites. So I read this one, and unfortunately, I felt this wasn't King's best for sure. And he even talks about his book, how he had surgery, hip surgery, knee surgery. I can't remember. I want to say hip surgery. I can't remember what surgery he had. He had some kind of surgery. So he wasn't his best. He wasn't feeling the greatest. And he even said himself that it was not his best. So he had to rewrite his book several times. You know, when you go through it, his wife kept telling him, his wife helps him out so much. And she kept telling him, you got to go back and fix this. This is not your best. And so, yeah, to me, it was a good story. It has a good plot. Climax was good, but it was just too political for me. I don't really like reading books that have a lot of politics in it. So, yeah, it was just too much for me. So, but I still gave it a 4 because I still enjoyed the story and the characters and all of that. But, so yeah, 4 for me. The next book that I read was None of This Is True, and this is also another new book that was released this year from Lisa Jewell, and this one was a 5 for me. I don't know if you guys have read, it's from Tamara Tintera, I think her name is. Listen for the Lie, I think that's the name of the book. It reminds me so much of that book, where it's like a podcast and all the interviews and stuff like that. If you enjoyed that book and if you read that book, you'll definitely enjoy this one. That one was really good. It just kept you guessing. Yeah, really good. So that one was a 5. And then I started the Caraval series by Stephanie Garber, and I loved it. Now this is a young adult read, so I don't know, it's probably not everybody's cup of tea, but it was really good. It really engaged me. So I gave that a 4. And the last book that I read was You're Dead to Me by Amy Christine Parker. And it's funny because my friend Amy recommended this book to me because I like the paranormal stuff. So if you guys like that, this is definitely your type of book. But I don't know, there were some things that were missing for me, so I gave it a 3. So it was a good story, but there were some things that were missing for me in order for me to have rated it a higher rating. But overall, it was fine. So yeah, those are my 14 reads for the month of June, and I think I've finished. I mean, I have a couple of other stickers here. I don't know if they would go. I feel like I've already used up most of my stickers already. Maybe this. I don't know. I don't know if that would look good. I think I'll just leave it like that. I have a couple of extra stickers. I keep all my stickers because I just never know if I'm going to use them in something else or another project or whatnot. But anyway, here is my fully, move my cup out of the way, my full spread. So I'm super happy with it. I enjoyed the theme of the month, and it was a good reading month for me. Actually maybe even the best, because I don't think I've read more than 14 books in a month before. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, give it a thumbs up, and if you aren't subscribed, please consider subscribing so you won't miss any more videos. I still have lots to catch up because I still have July's and August book entries for those months, so stay tuned for another video. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys in the next crafty video. All right, I'll see you guys then. Bye, guys.